I've been clearing timber here for 450 days. I've cleared 540,000 trees, approximately. If you stand them up side by side, that's enough to go 1,620 kilometres. That's from Melbourne to Brisbane. I looked into trying to get carbon credits for my trees so I didn't have to push them down. Now I can get paid if I grow trees, but I can't get paid for the trees that are standing because I fall outside of the date. The date is for to make me eligible to trade my carbon credits is 2010. I got my clearing license in 2012. So a number of us cockies got it around about that same time. I was told that a lot of people got their PVPs after 2010 and had no intent of clearing. They just got it as a way of trading the carbon that they had in their trees on their property. So I personally, since 2010, probably pushed down a couple of million trees. A young couple down the road from us, they had a clearing license on their property, 2 properties, a large and a small one, and they sold that property and moved one property closer to town so that they could catch the bus, the kids could catch a bus into town to do school. Now the people who bought his property, they didn't have the money to go clearing, they didn't even know about the clearing license, and all of a sudden, clearing licenses are worth something if they're before 2010. Both of those properties, sold to different identities, both got paid out. There's about a dozen people in the area who bought properties so many days or a month beforehand, all been paid out. So someone who got a clearing license, like myself, and I've got 101,000 acres of clearing license. I don't know what that is, maybe 6 or 7 million trees, maybe 50 or 60 million trees. I don't know how many that is. The crazy part about this is, if I clear all of my country, my 101,000 acres that I have under license, I'm then eligible to get a reforestation grant. So I'll push down these great big thick old trees that are battle scarred and weary and know how to survive droughts and fire, and in turn spend the next 60, 70 years to get to where these trees are now, regrowing them. Now, the government's happy to pay me to regrow them after I push them down and burn them and release all the carbon back into the atmosphere and put in seedlings who couldn't even possibly suck up the carbon that these ones will release into the atmosphere. But nobody wants to pay this. Could we not have a simple little amendment before Senate on this carbon trading that says every 3 years from today, so every day somebody's put in an application 3 years ago, that they are eligible to trade their carbon credits if they want to? I'll just say, I don't know how else to do it, but surely there must be a time moratorium on it that says, okay, from now on, you can do it. Or if you're legitimate, like myself, who's been ploughing down timber, I do it every single day and have done for 450 days straight, and I haven't missed one day. If there was a moratorium put in place, a little something put before Senate to say, yeah, okay, let's save these big trees that people have still got on their properties. It's a hell of a lot cheaper for the government to save these big ones who get traded. We can trade all the carbon credit overseas anyway. The government does not pay, it's not costing them anything. We lose 47 cents in every dollar to the government because of tax. We got no way of offsetting our tax. There's nothing we can do with our tax. So we get paid $6 million. The government gets half of it. The other thing is these green credit chaps, the companies, they're wanting 30% commission. 30% commission, flat rate right across everything, which means, for instance, if we were allowed to claim back to 2012, they take 30% of 3 or 4 years they had no input on at all. I find that immoral. So they're making millions of dollars on backdating. And the cockies haven't worked it out yet that they're getting ripped off. So if I did a deal at the moment between a green carbon outfit and the government, I would lose 79% of whatever my payment was. I'd end up with 21%. I'm the one with the land, the trees, the one that had to bust myself through this. And I'm the one with the ongoing maintenance and repairs and looking after the land and the trees, and I only get 21%. I find that to be truly unfair. But nobody's taken any of these fellas to task at the moment. I've been too busy feeding livestock in this drought to even know what was happening. So if the Senate could, somebody could take this to the Senate and just say, look, what type of drugs are you fellas on? Leave the big timber here, pay the fellas for it because it's already here. You don't have to worry about trying to make it establish through continuous droughts, etc. It is already here. There's masses of it. Down the creeks, big lots of it. Instead of trying to scheme something, some of these schemes are even growing woody weed and choking out their countryside, which is of no consequence, and it won't grow into a forest. So I think you've got more troubles ahead of you than you realise. I don't think anybody's ever spoken to the man on the land to say, is this going to work, or are we just throwing money at a wall? Please, can somebody take notice of this and do something about it? I'd really appreciate something like that.